December 18th, 1994, Las Vegas, Nevada. The desert city glittered with promise. Casinos, fortune, new beginnings. Until a wealthy real estate magnate walked to his wife's antique shop and vanished forever. Margaret Rudin, 56, a woman married 5 times before. What emerged from the ashes of a steamer trunk near Lake Mojave would earn her a chilling nickname: the Black Widow of Vegas. How does marriage become murder? Welcome to Shattered Crime, where we uncover the darkest truths hidden behind ordinary faces. Today, we explore Nevada's most notorious female criminals, from black widows to fitness icons, from wrongfully convicted to justly executed. These are the true stories of women who crossed the ultimate line. From dismemberment to vehicle ramming, from conspiracy to arson, each case reveals how far someone will go when greed, rage, or madness takes control. What you're about isn't fiction. It's documented reality. First case, Margaret Lee Rudin, 56 years old, Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada, 1994. The winter of 1994 brought glittering lights and holiday cheer to Las Vegas. Margaret Rudin lived a luxurious lifestyle funded by her husband Ronald, a 64-year-old real estate magnate worth millions. She owned an antique shop in the same strip mall as his office. They'd married in 1987, her 5th marriage. But beneath the surface, their relationship was crumbling. Money disputes, allegations of infidelity. And on December 18th, Ronald walked to Margaret's shop. He never walked back. Margaret Rudin was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and moved frequently during childhood. By the time she met Ronald Rudin, she'd already been married 4 times. She was intelligent, calculated, and comfortable living off wealthy men. Ronald provided everything: the antique shop, the home, the lifestyle. But when their marriage began to fracture, Margaret faced losing it all. Divorce would strip her of access to his fortune. So she chose a different solution. Nearly a month after Ronald's disappearance, on January 21st, 1990, fishermen made a horrific discovery near Lake Mojave. Charred and dismembered human remains inside a burned antique steamer trunk. The body had been shot at least 4 times in the head with a .22 caliber handgun. Dental records confirmed the victim was Ronald Rudin. The brutality suggested careful planning. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was execution. Police searched the Rudin residence. They found blood spatter in the bedroom and other forensic evidence linking Margaret to the murder. In 1990s, a .22 caliber Ruger handgun was recovered from Lake Mead. It had originally belonged to Ronald and was reported missing years earlier. Ballistics confirmed it was the murder weapon. April 1997. A grand jury indicted Margaret Rudin for murder, but she had already fled Nevada. For 31 months, she remained in hiding, living under false identities across state lines. In November 1999, authorities finally tracked her to Massachusetts. She was arrested and extradited back to Nevada to face trial. March 2nd, 2001. Margaret Rudin's trial began in Las Vegas. Prosecutors argued she killed her husband to prevent divorce and protect her financial interests. The defense claimed Ronald was involved in illegal dealings and was killed by others. The jury heard about the blood spatter, the gun, the trunk, the financial motive. On May 2nd, 2001, Margaret Rudin was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years. But the story didn't end there. Over the years, multiple appeals raised serious concerns about ineffective legal representation and prosecutorial misconduct. In 2019, Rudin was granted parole and released in January 2020. In May 2022, a U.S. district judge vacated her conviction due to ineffective counsel. On December 9, 2024, all charges were officially dismissed. Margaret Rudin walked free. After 20 years behind bars, she's now pursuing a wrongful conviction claim against the state. Ronald's family says justice was stolen. Margaret says she was framed. The Black Widow of Vegas remains one of Nevada's most controversial cases. Second case, Brookey Lee West, 48 years old. Nevada, 1998. February 1998. Brookey Lee West told authorities her elderly mother, Kirstin Smith, had moved to California to live with family. No one questioned the story. For 3 years, Kirstin's absence went unnoticed. Until February 2001, when her decomposed body was discovered stuffed inside a garbage can at a Las Vegas storage unit. West claimed her mother died of natural causes, and she panicked. Forensic evidence told a different story. Brookey Lee West was born June 28, 1953, into a deeply troubled household. Her father, Leroy Smith, allegedly introduced her to witchcraft, Satanism, and violence from a young age. Her mother, Kirstin, was neglectful and struggled with alcoholism. West's upbringing was marked by instability, abuse, and exposure to extreme beliefs that would shape her violent future. Forensic entomologist Neil Haskell examined Kirstin Smith's remains. He noted the presence of coffin flies rather than blow flies, indicating the body was placed in a confined space shortly after death or while the victim was still alive. This contradicted West's claim of natural death. Investigators uncovered the real motive: money. West had been collecting her mother's $1,000 monthly Social Security checks for 3 years after her death. But Kirstin wasn't the first. In 1993, West's brother Travis Smith vanished under suspicious circumstances, including fraudulent hospital records linked to West. In 1994, her husband Howard Simon St. John was found shot to death weeks after filing a domestic abuse complaint against her. West was also suspected in the attempted assault of Diane Smith using a stun gun. A pattern of death followed Brookey Lee West wherever she went. September 5, 2001. Brookey Lee. West was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for killing her mother. Prosecutors argued she murdered Kirstin Smith for financial gain, Social Security fraud worth $36,000 over 3 years. At trial, West maintained her mother died naturally. The jury didn't believe her. West was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. In 2004, she sought a retrial, but prosecutors stated there was ample evidence supporting the conviction. The appeals were denied. In 2012, Brookey Lee West attempted to escape from the Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center by walking out the front entrance. She was quickly apprehended and disciplined. She remains incarcerated today, suspected of killing at least 3 people, but convicted of only one: her own mother. A woman raised in darkness who brought death to her family. But in Reno, another woman's madness would claim 6 lives in seconds. Third case, Priscilla Joyce Ford, 51 years old. Reno, Washoe County, Nevada. November 27, 1980. Thanksgiving Day. Virginia Street in downtown Reno buzzed with excitement as families gathered for the annual Thanksgiving parade. Children waved from the sidewalks. Parade floats rolled past. The sun shone over a perfect holiday scene. Until Priscilla Ford drove her 1974 Lincoln Continental onto the sidewalk and plowed through the crowd. Priscilla Ford was born February 10, 1929. A former school teacher who spent years battling severe mental illness. She was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and exhibited religious delusions and violent tendencies. Over the years, she had been admitted to and released from at least 7 psychiatric hospitals. By 1980, her personal life was marked by failed marriages, estrangement from her children, and increasing isolation. That Thanksgiving afternoon, Ford drove deliberately onto the sidewalk and accelerated. She plowed through the crowd for approximately 100 feet, striking men, women, and children. The screams were drowned out by the parade music. Bodies flew through the air. Blood stained the pavement. When her car finally came to a stop, police approached the vehicle. Ford stepped out calmly. 162, well above the legal limit. While in custody, Ford made disturbing statements to officers. "The more dead, the better," she said. Witnesses and officers were horrified. Ford was initially ruled incompetent to stand trial due to her mental condition. After months of treatment and forced medication, she was declared competent. She pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Her trial lasted nearly 5 months, the longest in northern Nevada history. March 19, 1982. Priscilla Ford was convicted of 6 counts of first-degree murder and 23 counts of attempted murder. 9 days later, the jury sentenced her to death. She remained on death row for over 20 years, filing multiple appeals. January 29, 2005. Priscilla Ford died of emphysema while still incarcerated at the Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center. She was 75 years old. The execution was never carried out. 6 lives stolen during a holiday parade. 4th case. Kelsey Nichole Turner, 25 years old. Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada. March 2019. The glittering lights of Las Vegas concealed a brutal murder. Kelsey Turner, a former Playboy and Maxim model, lived a luxurious lifestyle funded by older men. One of them was Dr. Thomas Burchard, a 71-year-old child psychiatrist from Salinas, California. He'd given her an estimated $750,000 over the years in exchange for companionship. Kelsey Nichole Turner was born May 5, 1993, in Norfolk, Virginia, and raised in Jonesboro, Arkansas. She attended Arkansas State University before entering the adult modeling industry. She appeared in high-profile magazines and lived between California and Las Vegas. Behind the glamorous image, she maintained financially dependent relationships with older men. Dr. Burchard was one of them. Kelsey and Kennison lured Dr. Burchard to Las Vegas under false pretenses. Once there, they brutally beat him to death using a baseball bat and a gun. His body was then stuffed into the trunk of Kelsey's Mercedes-Benz and abandoned on a remote desert road outside Las Vegas near Lake Mead. Surveillance footage, phone records, and witness testimony quickly tied Kelsey Turner to the crime. She, Kennison, and their roommate Diana Nicole Pena fled Nevada following the murder. On March 21, 2019, FBI agents and Las Vegas police tracked Kelsey to Stockton, California, and arrested her. The investigation revealed a planned killing motivated by financial gain, not self-defense. Dr. Burchard had been generous, even naive. He'd given Kelsey hundreds of thousands of dollars, supported her lifestyle, paid her rent. And when he decided to stop, she decided he had to die. Kelsey Turner was charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. After a prolonged legal process, her co-defendant Kennison pleaded guilty in June 2022 and received an 18 to 45-year sentence. January 10, 2023. Kelsey Turner was formally sentenced to 10 to 25 years in prison for second-degree murder. She is currently serving her sentence at the Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center in Nevada. A former model who appeared in magazines now wears a prison uniform. Dr. Greed disguised as companionship. Fifth case, Kellyanne Ryan, 33 years old. Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada. December 14, 2005. Kelly Ryan, known as Fly-In Ryan, was a top IFBB fitness champion and married to fellow professional bodybuilder Craig Titus. They lived a high-profile lifestyle within the fitness industry, but their 28-year-old personal assistant, Melissa James, had become a problem. Jealousy, suspicion of an affair, and rage converged. Kellyanne Ryan was born July 10, 1972, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and raised in Greenville, South Carolina. She graduated from the University of South Carolina with a journalism degree and worked as a cheerleader during college. Ryan later entered professional fitness competitions and became a top IFBB athlete, winning the 2000 IFBB Fitness International Championship. Melissa James worked as a live-in personal assistant for Ryan and Titus. Evidence suggested Ryan suspected an affair between Titus and Melissa. On December 14th, investigators believed Melissa was assaulted, restrained, placed alive, or shortly after death into the trunk of Ryan's Jaguar, and the car was set on fire in an attempt to destroy evidence. The plan failed. After the body was discovered, Ryan and Titus fled Las Vegas along with accomplice Anthony Gross. They traveled cross-country to Massachusetts, their sudden disappearance raising immediate suspicion. Law enforcement tracked the group to Boston, where they were arrested and extradited back to Nevada. Kelly Ryan initially pleaded not guilty. Days before the joint trial with Craig Titus was set to begin, she accepted a plea deal. She was sentenced to 2 consecutive prison terms of 3 to 13 years. Kelly Ryan served nearly 12 years at Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center in Nevada. She was granted parole and released on October 24, 2017. A fitness champion who built her body to perfection helped destroy another woman's life. Melissa James, 28, will never grow older. Kelly Ryan walked free after 12 years. Jealousy within the fitness elite. Sixth case, Kirstin Blaise Lobato, 18 years old. Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada. May 2001. Kirstin Lobato, a young woman from Panica, Nevada, began telling friends she'd narrowly escaped a sexual assault at a budget suites hotel in Las Vegas. She said she used a small pocket knife to defend herself by slashing at her attacker's groin. She repeated this story consistently to at least 9 people over several weeks. It was a story of survival. On July 8, 2001, the mutilated body of Duran Bailey was discovered in Las Vegas. More than 10 days later, police linked Kirstin to the crime after a friend told investigators about her earlier story of an attempted rape. During interrogation, Kirstin acknowledged cutting a man in the groin, referring to the earlier assault attempt. Kirstin maintained she was in Panica, nearly 200 miles away, on the day Bailey was killed. Her family supported her alibi, but prosecutors alleged she was a methamphetamine user who killed Bailey during a dispute over sex and drugs. Multiple forensic experts concluded that the physical evidence made it impossible for Kirstin to have committed the crime. Much of this expert testimony was suppressed by Judge Valerie Vega. In 2002, Kirstin Lobato was convicted of first-degree murder after overnight jury deliberations and sentenced to 40 to 100 years in prison. She was 18 years old. In 2004, the Nevada Supreme Court reversed the conviction, ruling Kirstin's defense was unfairly restricted. But in 2006, she was convicted again, this time of voluntary manslaughter, and sentenced to 13 to 45 years. December 2017. Judge Stephanie Miley granted Kirstin a new trial. Days later, Chief Judge Elizabeth Gonzalez ordered her release. Though briefly delayed due to an unrelated prison conviction, Kirstin was finally freed on January 3, 2018. In December 2024, a civil jury found that Las Vegas police fabricated evidence and intentionally caused emotional distress. Kirstin Lobato was awarded $34 million in compensatory damages, plus punitive damages against 2 detectives. A teenager imprisoned for a crime she didn't commit.